Have you ever woken up and decided that you wanted to piss off the entire country of Italy? It's kind of how I'm feeling right now. This is spaghetti, by the way. I'm kidding. I would never snap my spaghetti in half. I know that that is sacrilege. I'm not that offensive, I swear to God. Welcome back, everybody. We are back in the kitchen today. Welcome. How did you get in my apartment? I don't know how you got in here. Anyways, we are making a dish that in my family has been like a staple for special events, Christmas dinners, my birthday, stuff like that, right? It is a very simple dish overall, and thankfully I'm actually able to use everything I already have in my kitchen, which is kind of awesome. Okay, that's a lie. I'm literally already lying to you. I had to buy one thing. I bought Parmesan cheese, and I figured I'd make the country of Italy very happy, and I actually bought like properly aged Parmesan. It is proper Parmigiano Reggiano. I probably butchered the hell out of that. But anyways, it is the good stuff. It is well aged, not the American aged BS. It is the good stuff. So let's jump into it. Today, we're making spaghetti pie. The first thing we need to do is incredibly easy. We just need to make our spaghetti. So fill a pot, we'll put a little salt in it, toss our spaghetti in, boom, you got noodles. I feel like I don't need to explain this part to you. I feel like you guys had this one. I feel like I can trust you with noodles. If you have burned your house down on the noodle step, maybe cooking just shouldn't be your hobby. I mean, you need to eat food, so like, it kind of feels like a life skill, but yeah, if you can't do this part right, oof. And I say that as somebody who has definitely screwed up noodles at one point. Here's your ingredients you're gonna need for this one. In addition to our spaghetti, we are also going to need some butter, some cottage cheese, or if you would like to swap this out, because this is kind of the actual replacement, ricotta. In my family, we tend to swap it out for the cottage cheese. Also, I still have cottage cheese from a few weeks ago that I need to, well, I say 2 weeks ago. I think it's still good. Still has no smell. Assuming it still doesn't taste like anything. Yeah, we have cottage cheese left over that I still need to use up from the cottage cheese video. So we're gonna be using that instead of ricotta this time. Plus, like I said, I already had everything. So you need some marinara sauce. And then, like I said, I did buy the good stuff. I got some good Parmigiano Reggiano. This one was aged a minimum of 20 months. Whereas I think like, so in Italy, they have like different standards for what can actually be called Parmigiano Reggiano. One, it has to come from the actual proper area. It's kind of like you know, sparkling wines and what's the thing? What's the thing you drink? Champagne. Oh my God, that's the stuff. Champagne. But yeah, this is really well aged. It should have very rich flavor. But yeah, you need this. In the US, I think they only do it for like 10 months or so, and it's not even like properly Parmigiano Reggiano until it's like after 24, I think. So this should be honestly really good stuff. But yeah, that is everything you need to make this. Oh, I guess you need pie dishes. 1 second. This is a pie after all, so you are going to need a pie pan. This is my glass one. This is the one I'm going to use for the one we're going to eat tonight. But I am making a second one of these because I have enough spaghetti. Because 1 pack of spaghetti will definitely give you enough for 2 pies. And these freeze incredibly well. So I'm gonna make 2 of these bad boys. So I've got a metal one as well that we will also make another one in. Now, these are definitely different sizes. Well, we'll have a big one and a small one. How about that? Okay, now we just need the old nudes to boil, and then we'll be ready to start assembling. This is actually a pretty quick recipe. One thing I think I forgot to mention in the ingredients list is eggs. You need 2 eggs, well beaten. I'm doing 4 because I'm obviously doubling the recipe, but yeah. And then I did go, you needed 1/3 cup of Parmesan cheese if you're making 1 of these. I went for 2/3. It's a little more than 2/3, honestly. But if you're like me, you know how like you're at a restaurant and the waiter comes up and they're like, "Sir, may I please give you some more Parmesan?" And you're like, "Oh, why, yes, please." And they're like, "All right, please tell me when." I don't have a limit. I need you to understand that. We are either going until your arms give out or you run out. That is my Parmesan limit. I do not have a limit. The limit does not exist. Although in this case, the limit is a little bit over 2/3 cup. So there we go, Parmesan. We also need 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm going with 4, obviously, because I need to have double the recipe. Plus a little bit, because why would I want to keep that little sliver? I know everybody always has their own test for if a noodle's done, but isn't it always like if it sticks, right? That sticks. Are my walls clean enough to eat off of? We're gonna go with the answer being yes. Okay, we are making our crust now that our noodles are done. And I'm gonna do this in a glass bowl so you guys can actually see what I'm doing here instead of just in the pot. But if you're not making a video, you know, you can just do it in the pot, not make extra dishes. Step 1, take your noodles, put them in. The noodies, there we go. Step 2, toss in your butter. I'm gonna chop this up into some smaller chunks here and just make this slightly more, man, never mind. I guess I won't. Okay, well, my knife either sucks or the butter is buttering. I think it's a little column A, a little column B. That did straight up not cut. I'm gonna have paper in here now. All right, yummy paper. That's gonna be delicious later. Gotta rinse off the fingies. I literally, when I'm cooking live, I have a counter of how many times I have rinsed the fingies. Because I rinse my fingers like all the time when I'm cooking, just constantly doing that. Okay, our butter is in here. We just need this to like melt actually. And you just want to lightly coat all of your noodles in the butter. We'll just fold that in to melt. And I'm gonna wait a second because we want that to melt before we put in our egg and our Parmesan. Basically, you just wanna make sure all the noodles are fully coated in egg, Parmesan, butter, all that good stuff, all together combined, because then this is gonna be the basis for our crust in our pie. Should be pretty damn tasty. All right, Butter, how you doing? How you doing, Butter? You melting in there? You better be melting in there, that's your job. I think my goal with this video was just really to piss off every single Italian that watches anything on YouTube. Okay, now that we have our butter fully melted. Words are kind of hard today. That's kind of bad when you're a cooking show presenter, but we march onwards. All right, put in our egg. There we go, there goes the egg. And then I'm going to just fold this all in here. It might like lightly cook the egg, but it's fine. Let's do this, get it around in there. And then we're also going to just start adding the Parmesan in and just keep moving and mixing and folding. You kind of want this to just get, again, coated over everything. Just dump it all in and that works. Just fold it in with everything.
What does that mean? He folds it in. I understand that, but how do you fold it?
You just fold it in.
Honestly, if this wasn't raw egg, I would have a bite of this right now because honestly, this smells delicious. I mean, it's noodles with butter, and the autists in chat are just like absolutely losing their minds right now. And then also it's got some Parmesan cheese in there, so it's kind of an amazing trio of flavors. The egg kind of makes it a little bit unedible at this point in time, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay, I think that is pretty well combined. I'm just gonna keep mixing for a little bit longer, make sure this is all fully combined. Okay, there we go. This is gonna be the crust of our pie. I know you're saying, Dak, what the hell? What do you mean that's gonna be the crust of your pie? It is spaghetti pie after all. It's kind of in the name. But there we go. It's gonna be a little hot, so this will be interesting because I probably should let that cool a little bit, but it's fine, it's fine. Now, I forget, it's been a long time since I've made this, and it's been a long time since I've seen my mom make this. I don't remember if we put something down on the pie pan. You probably should. I don't know if I have cooking spray. Let's see, do I have cooking spray? Put your bets in chat. Do I have cooking spray? I'm kind of thinking the answer is no, but I do have olive oil. So I'm gonna do just like, that's probably too much, but we'll just kind of like oil this lightly. This is probably a bad idea, I don't know. I feel like this seems like a good idea so that way it doesn't like burn and stick, but we'll do this. Okay, and now you want to take about half of this and put it in the pan here. So let us grab a fresh fork because I already put that one away. I'm really great at making a lot of dishes for myself. And we will just start spooning this into here. Just want to make a nice layer. I always like to basically call this, it's like spaghetti lasagna, pretty much, in a way. But you kind of want to like organize it around the outsides, kind of try to make that pie crusty kind of shape if you can. It's spaghetti, so it's a little not as malleable as a dough would be, but you want to try to get it up the sides here if you can, and you want to kind of like leave a lower kind of like well in the center like you would with an actual pie. We'll squish up the sides here, try to make a bit more of like a proper pie well in the center. See what we can do with that. There we go. All right, cool. Set this aside. I'll make the second one here when we're done with the first one here. Next on our ingredient list is our cottage cheese. Now, if you want to use ricotta, you can use ricotta. In my family, it's typically we replace the ricotta with cottage cheese. So in my last video where I said I hadn't had cottage cheese in 15 years, I meant like outside of a recipe. This is the only recipe I can think of that I have had it in. in the last 15 years. But yeah, I guess it was a slight bit of a rage bait kind of lie. I had cottage cheese, but not in a very, very long time to where I actually could taste the cottage cheese, I guess. I don't know. It was a good title. This is the only recipe I can think of in the last 15 years that I'd had cottage cheese in. But yeah, so. And with this, you literally just pour it in here. Very easy. Just kind of lightly put it in there. Get it all out. And then we are going to just spread this relatively evenly. And again, you can use ricotta for this if you would prefer. Spread your cottage cheese around. I'm sure my mother is like freaking out watching this going, "You're doing this wrong. What are you doing? You're butchering my recipe." Sorry, Mom. I think I did probably use too much noodles, but that's okay. And there you go, cottage cheese. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Well, I guess easy peasy cottage cheesy. That rhymes still. Yeah, that rhymes. With our cottage cheese filling down, now we just add a little bit of marinara on top there. If I can open the jar. Hold, please. There we go. Whew. So you just had to talk to it. All right, marinara going in. Now, it's just enough to cover. Doesn't need to be a crazy amount. If you like more sauce, you can do more sauce. If you like less sauce, you can do less sauce. Cover your cottage cheese with your sauce. Right on top of your sauce. And there you go, spaghetti pie. It's ready to go in the oven. Oh, wait, hang on. We need a second one. Okay. All right, now through the power of editing, I have magically 2 ready to go. One definitely looks a little bit better than the other. I think this little pie pin is just a little bit too small, but this one should be pretty good. Now, you're asking, Dak, when do you add the mozzarella cheese? Well, not yet. We don't need this quite yet. What we do need is we need to cover these because these will go into the oven at 350 degrees for 1 hour covered in tinfoil until we are ready to top them with our cheese. Now, something else you can do. If you get to this step and you're like, I want to give these as like an easy take and give to somebody to bake type of thing, you can easily freeze these. They make an excellent gift if you have someone that you want to like feed easily and you're trying to like make food for somebody, deliver food to people in need, whatever. This is super easy to do. And you can even make this gluten-free if you want. You can make it vegan. There's lots of different ways you can adapt this. It's, again, super simple recipe. And now typically what you would want to do is you'd want to cover and chill these. Now this one I actually will cover and chill because I only need one tonight. I'm not going to bake both. So this one we are going to cover and we are going to put it in the freezer and just chill it and let it freeze and just like I'll bake this at a later date. But this one is the one we are going to cook. So while the oven's still preheating, I'm going to toss this one in the refrigerator. We're going to cover this one and put it in the freezer. And then once the oven is ready to go, we'll toss this one in for 350 degrees for 1 hour. All right, I just heard our oven go off. It is preheated. We will now cover this one and we'll stick it in to the oven to cook. And that's the beauty of these things being super easy to just like toss in the freezer or whatever is if you want to make it for dinner that night, you literally just like pull it out, put it in the refrigerator to kind of like defrost a little bit. And then when you're ready, it's the same exact baking instructions. You just toss it in. So like, if you're like, oh, we're gonna have spaghetti pie tonight and you've already got one made, toss it in the fridge. You go to work all day, come home, toss it in the oven, hour and like 15 minutes later, you're done. It's pretty easy. All right. 350 degree oven for 1 hour. Let's go toss this guy in. After an hour in the oven at 350 degrees, we now pull out our pie and we reveal what we've got cooking here so far. It's looking good, but now we need to add our mozzarella. There's not a specific amount that you need to add. It's kind of up to you. Add as much or as little as you would like. I like a lot of mozzarella, so we're gonna be adding a good chunk too. And then this will be going back in our oven for another 10 minutes at 350 degrees. Okay, this has been cooling on the counter now for about 10 minutes. You can leave it for 10 or 15 minutes, but 10 minutes and it looks and smells incredible. Now, this is a spaghetti pie, right? So you gotta cut it like a pie. It's a pie. You cut it like a pie. It's a pie, so you see what I'm saying. Let's get a slice in here. There we go. I definitely did not nail the center there. That is my bad. Now, I don't actually have a pie thing, so we're gonna have to try and gently get this out with a fork here. This will be interesting. We have our plate. Let's see if we can get this out without totally destroying it. I really need like a pie serving thing. Oh, there we go. Oh, it worked. It worked. Okay, gonna try to slide this out of the way so I don't get burned. And there we go. There is our slice of spaghetti pie. What do you think? Looks nice and steamy, right? Looking pretty good. Yeah, it is pie. It is spaghetti. It is all good things. It is all very tasty. So yeah, this is how you make and serve spaghetti pie. Last thing to do, grab our handy dandy fork, dig in, give it a taste. I know what this tastes like. I've made this before, had this a million times, but we'll do one more for you guys. You can serve this alongside like garlic bread, oh, garlic bread. I should have made garlic bread. Oh, what would I do for a Klondike bar? No, get that out of here. What would I do for garlic bread? Not a lot. I probably wouldn't do for garlic bread, let's be honest. All right, this is gonna burn the shit out of my mouth, but here we go. Oh yeah, way too hot. Oh. So definitely let it cool for like 15 minutes. Definitely let it cool for like 15 minutes. But there we go. That is spaghetti pie. It is incredibly tasty, incredibly delicious. And again, this is something that in my family we've made for like special occasions, holidays. This is a go-to meal. I think my mom for Christmas dinner normally makes like 3 or 4 of these, and we as a family just go through them like crazy. Amazing as leftovers. I have the other one in the freezer for like later this week probably, if I finish this one off first, or I don't know, but yeah, incredibly tasty. But that is from my family to yours, our butchery of Italian heritage. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you have ideas on something you'd like for me to cook on the cooking show here, please drop it in the comments. And until the next episode, I'll be seeing you guys. Bye-bye. All right, gotta move this back. Ah, fuck, it's hot. Ah!